Our next story comes from Iran. A statement by an Iranian deputy minister has sent shockwaves around the world. According to him, schoolgirls in the country are being poisoned. I'm going to give you a few seconds just to process that. Schoolgirls, he says, are being poisoned. But why? Why would someone poison schoolgirls? Who is behind this? Where exactly is this happening in the country? And what is being done about it? Let me just break down what we know so far. First things first, who has made the statement? The Deputy Health Minister, Younes Panahi. He says some people were poisoning schoolgirls in the holy city of Qom. The city lies south of Tehran. This is where it is located in the country. He says the schoolgirls are being poisoned to stop them from going to school, to shut down education for girls. Now, the thing is, cases of respiratory poisoning have been reported among schoolgirls in Qom since late November. There have been hundreds of such cases. In fact, some needed hospital treatment. And now the Deputy Health Minister has implicitly confirmed that these poisonings have been deliberate. Let me quote from what the IRNA state news agency has said. It quotes the Deputy Minister as saying, after the poisoning of several students in Qom schools, it was found that some people wanted all schools, especially girls' schools, to be closed. So have there been any arrests linked to the poisonings? Not yet. Let me tell you something else now. This is not the first time the issue is coming to light. In fact, earlier this month, on the 14th of February to be precise, parents of students who had been unwell gathered outside the governorate. They wanted an explanation from the authorities. And after this, the government spokesman, Ali Bahodari, had said that the intelligence and the education ministries were trying to figure out the cause of the poisonings. In fact, last week, the Prosecutor General, Mohammad Jafar, ordered a judicial probe into the incidents. Just have a look at the timing of these poisonings. When the anti-hijab protests have continued to grip the country, the protests that started in September last year have become one of the biggest challenges to Iran's theocracy since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. The trigger for the protests was the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini after she was arrested by the morality police. The anti-hijab protest transformed into a months-long movement. It is a movement that refuses to die down. In fact, earlier this month, protesters marched through the streets of multiple cities overnight. These protests were a sign that the anger on the ground continues to boil over. Since the protest started, at least 529 people have been killed in demonstrations. This is according to the human rights activists in the country. Over 19,700 have been detained. There has been a violent crackdown to clamp down on the dissent. We have been telling you how the country's youngest have been taking on the country's mightiest. Schoolgirls have been taking to the streets. The women of the country have made it clear that the era of forced hijab is over. But this movement has become about a lot more than the hijab. It has become a movement seeking change. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.